You know, they say that once upon a time, there was a smaller insect. Black and yellow, a little fuzzy on the outside. It was native to North America and was so bloody iconic that they named a transformer after it. The reason I speak of it in past tense, it's not dead yet. It's really not. It's not like extinct. It's just endangered. It's going to go extinct if things aren't changed. We're talking about the bumblebees here. Bumblebees are so iconic in North America that they named a transformer after them. If they name a transformer after it, it's not allowed to die. That's just the law of the universe. A bumblebee. Yeah, you've heard of them before. Everyone's heard of them before. They didn't go around and go, oh yes, I really enjoy the European honeybee. No, it was always the bumblebee. You live in North America, unless you don't. What do we need to know about the bumblebee? Well, these guys, right here, they live basically anywhere in North America. I'm gonna be honest here. I got a list of their habitats sitting right here, and we're just gonna go through them. They live in mixed farmland, urban settings, savannas, open woods, sand dunes, basically those sort of areas, which is super freaking cool. So these guys live everywhere. And you're probably wondering, well, why do we need to care? Aside from the fact they're named that, they're iconic and awesome and the greatest. To the point where you dug up a yellow sweatshirt to show your appreciation. Well, you want to talk about their value to the world? Shallow. That's shallow. They're pollinators. What are pollinators? They pollinate things. They make your fruit grow. They make your freaking tomatoes grow. Listen, these guys, they contribute to your food security. They're one of the only pollinators for tomatoes, by the way. Fun fact I got to learn there. So they pollinate a lot. They pollinate flowers, they pollinate vegetables. But when it comes to tomatoes really depend on them. If it weren't for the bumblebees, tomatoes would be in a significantly worse spot, okay? Anyway, so they contribute to our food security and the healthy functioning of our ecosystems. That's right. Just like this unit's been saying for all of biodiversity, it turns out the bumblebee is useful for our ecosystem. Without the bumblebee, so many things don't get pollinated, and then boom, we're down. We're down on food. We're down on different animals because they gotta eat the food. It's a whole thing. It's a huge kerfuffle if the bumblebee ain't around, okay? Now I know what you're thinking. That's great. But I'm still gonna ask the same bloody question. Why should they be preserved? Because now you're gonna just change the question. Values to the world and getting preserved are the same question. I don't see what your point is here. These guys should be preserved because they're a key member of our ecosystem. Listen, man. Look at them. Look at these little guys. Little buggy boys. Why would you kill them? Why wouldn't you save them? They do nothing wrong to you. Oh, here I bring up my tomato point again in my notes here. So you get, here we're gonna talk straight from the notes. Preserving the bumblebees will keep many fruits, especially tomatoes, as I brought up, healthy and flourishing for a long period of time. Oh, I'm so fancy. I'm so good. Now you've gotten onto my point. That the bumblebees are useful and they're needed. And you're wondering to yourself, who do we blame? Who do we blame for this absolute horror of a reality where they're extinct? Where they're going to be extinct. Imagine a world where you didn't grow up without knowing about bumblebees. It's a horrifying world. How? Whose fault is this? I pick up my list and I stare down at it as I ready to tell you the news. Pretend for a moment. This is the hospital. The bumblebee is on the cot. I'm the doctor coming in to deliver the bad news. So, they haven't pinpointed it exactly what the problem is. But they believe that it could have been caused by a lot of things locally. Like pesticide use and habitat loss, increased competition with other species like the honeybee, which thinks it's so cool because it's European and it has the funky accent. It doesn't. Shut up, you're a bee. You don't have accents, God. There are things like disease that have taken these guys out. Climate change, which is a whole other basket. Small population dynamics, which is just yet again the posh honeybees versus the bumblebees, which are clearly superior. And that's all leading into the decline of their poor buddy species. It's horrifying. It's so bad. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, you told us all the problems. Fix it. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure how we're gonna... There are a lot of ways you could fix this. Let's look at what made them endangered in the first place. So you had habitat loss. So how do you unhabitat loss? You give them a place to live. You take away the home. You replace the home. It's very simple, but people seem to not really get that. The second part, they get part 1. They don't get part 2. Let's see, what else do we have on here? Pesticide use. Stop using as many pesticides. We can't really deal with competition with the posh honeybees, but you could, like, give bumblebees their own space. Like, you know, just a place where they could pollinate. Listen, man, we can't have a repeat of Canadian history, okay? We can't have the Europeans come in going, yes, good flowers, good everything, yes, I can definitely take this. And then, you know, the bumblebees that were already here being like, dude, why? Why are you doing this? I was here first. And they're like, yes, but I'm European and I have a funky accent and I drink tea. Because, you know, that's what honeybees do. I don't know. I'm going to be honest, that was a horrible bit. Oh, God. Who can help us in our efforts? And that's a great question. You have zoos, like the Assiniboine Zoo and different conservation places. See, we don't actually have much for preservation in Manitoba and, like, all of there. But we do have, like, the World Wildlife, whatever the hell it's called. Manitoba Eco Network, Manitoba Conservation. I think Earth Rangers is currently doing a thing for bumblebees. So, like, if you want to go back and take a quick blast to the past and go back to Earth Rangers, then feel free, my guy. Good on you. Take that power. Like The Rock said, it's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. You know, the whole bit. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours. Take what's ours. Take the bumblebees and give them a home. It's up to you at this point. I can't do everything, you know? I can only give you things like Peace Parks, Upper Fort Garry Provincial Park. Keep our parks safe. Keep their habitat safe. Give them places to live and populate. Give them an area where they could be bumblebees and they don't have to worry about the modern day problems like climate change and British people. It's up to you to help save the bumblebees. Join Earth Rangers today. Pretend this is a child. This is a poor, innocent child who's going to grow up in a world without bumblebees. It's horrible. Fix it. Don't treat your children like that. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the fact that the bumblebees are existing and real. And quickly not going to exist. We gotta fix our problems before our problems creep up on us, and then we're the next thing that goes endangered. Listen up, everybody. That was it. Have fun. Toodaloo, and goodbye.